Okay, so I had a lot of comments on my expanded video.
Expanded.
About from people who are still having a little problem getting their wire to feed through properly. Also, some people have had trouble with the wire disappearing up inside the head. So thought I'd do a quick video here on how to take the head apart. Okay, as far as why the line disappears up inside the head, I don't really know. I mean, what I would imagine is there's a memory built into this from where it's been coiled up. And normally when you're using it, it doesn't matter because the centrifugal force is going to keep it out here straight like this. And that's what you want, because you're going to get your best cut with the very tip of the line. If you can see that, that's very sharp. That's going to give you a good clean cut right there. And if you watch the pros, they don't get any closer to what they're trimming around than they have to. They want to cut with just that little tip right there. And that's how you're going to get your best line wear too. But if you let it get too worn out, too close into the head, and then you get too close to something and it pulls the RPM down, it puts drag on it, it's not out straight anymore, I can see how maybe it would just, disappear up inside there. I mean, that's all I can imagine anyway. Okay, so as far as disassembly, you've got the lock logo, you've got the arrow logo. You're just going to line the arrows up, and it's very easily done. Just twirl it right around. There you go. All right, pops off. There's your spool right there. And that's all there is to taking it apart and rewinding it if you want. So, once this is out, let's take a look here real quick. Okay, so we've got our spool out of the head here. And once you put that in there, you can see that this pass through right here has to line up perfectly with this hole right here if the line's going to go through it. So it's not enough to just have the arrows lined up so that it lines up horizontally this way. It has to also line up vertically this way. So you might have to actually move this knob up and down, and if you do this just right, like if I look just right down that hole, I can actually see daylight at some point. That's when you're going to get a good lineup. Of course, you're not going to be able to do that when it's on the machine, but what I'm trying to say is you might just have to feel, okay, right there, I can see, I don't know if you can see on the camera, I can see all the way through to the floor right there. So it moves a little bit this way, it also moves this way. You have to have it lined up both ways. So you might just have to play around with it a little bit, and sometimes it's going to go right through, sometimes, you're going to have to work at it a little bit. But okay, so let's say you've struggled with it and can't get the line through there. Just pop the head off like I did right here. It's as easy as spinning it one way. Take your line, push it right through there. I can see now that the head's off, I can see that it's perfectly lined up. So that's going to make it easy. Like I said, I can see, you probably can't see it in the camera, but I can see the floor through this hole right here where the line's going to go. So now I know that's lined up. There we go, straight through, easy as that. Okay, so got my line through it. Now I'm ready for it to go back on. So just gonna line my lines back up, my arrows back up. Give it a little twist. Just a little twist is all it takes. There you go. There we are. We're back locked. We got our line through. Now all I have to do is get an equal amount of line coming out of both sides of the head. And we know earlier, if you're using the spool, there's going to be marks on there that are going to mark it every 16 feet, and you'll just snip it at that, and then you'll pull the 16 foot through until the ends line up. Here's the two ends. If I hold these and then pull it out like this, all right, now I know I got pretty close to the same amount on both sides of the head, right? So leave it right there. Just like that. Push in, give it a couple of spins. But lots of people love this little gadget. So you can also use that. It goes on there just like that. And then, yeah, I guess it's alright. I don't know. Honestly, let's try here. Yeah, probably just have it at a bad angle, but I don't know. I just usually take this, push in on it, wind it up like that. Alright, there we go. And that's, pull it tight, you know. And get a couple more. There we go. And that's gonna swing it against the cutting edge here. Hopefully you're gonna get that nice point that we talked about earlier. And remember, just, you know, try to stay out away from what you're trimming, because if you get too close, you know, it might just push it around. And the other thing you notice is when you start to use the lineup in here, there's more of an area, you know, that it could pull in there. So, I mean, from my personal experience, the only time I've lost the lineup in there, I was close to the end of the spool, and I wasn't really watching what I was doing, and was too close to the things I was trying to trim. So I think if you keep it bumped, keep a nice distance of string out, should be fine. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'd love it if you subscribe to my channel. I could definitely use some more subscribers. Thank you. And like it. Okay, and one thing I'm not going to do is mention that I have this in my old Black & Decker Vice bench, whatever it's called, workmate, and that it's mounted on an old office chair thing, because a lot of people on my other video said that I wasted way too much time on things like that. So definitely not going to do that this time.